Legacy 1050 AM, Southern California. NBCRadioNews.com.
Hey, welcome. This is Damon Hart, Foxy Homebuyer, the Foxy Homebuyer, and I want to welcome you today to the Real Men of Real Estate. I'm your host here today, and I have a special guest. But before I get into that, as always, I always want to give a little bit of love to the sponsors and also our network that we're participating on today. So, you know me, I always got to go with KCAA Radio Network. We're on 1050 AM. And 605.5 FM, okay? 106.5 FM, all right? And that's every first Sunday of the month. You're going to see this episode, so get ready for that. And then lastly, if you want to know where to find us, you're going to find us under the Building Solid Foundations headline under, Roku TV, Android TV, Fire Stick. It's all there. So, and that's going to be also on Sundays as well. So I want to let you guys know, Real Men of Real Estate, I'm stoked to have you here. And I want to just get right into who we got here as our guest today, okay? So just a little bit about me. If you're first time watching us here or watching me on the Real Men of Real Estate, again, my name is Damon, and I'm what affectionately people call me is Mr. Foxy. And the reason that, besides the good looks, of course, right? The reason I'm called Mr. Foxy is because everybody knows me as the Foxy Home Buyer. I've been fortunate enough in the last 10 years to be able to be in the real estate market and purchase homes both here in California, in Florida, and some other states around the country. And I've been really fortunate and blessed to be connected over that period of time with a lot of people that are just really cool and know what they're doing in the market. And I get the privilege, because I know so much and I've been in the market, I get to see people that are up and coming. So that's really the most exciting part today. Is I met a guy probably almost about 2 years ago. I've seen his progress in this business, and I couldn't be more stoked to kind of get him out there and just share his story. So that's who I have with us today. So with no further ado, I'd like to just kind of turn it over to my guest, Mr. Jose Hernandez. How are you, brother?
But it's a pleasure. And like you said, you couldn't have summarized it better. It's been pretty much about 2 years now, and I've up and coming. It's my pleasure that I've met you, and I've never have thought that I would be here today and be sharing my experience, and so it's a pleasure.
For sure. So what some people may not know. Fun fact, right? You were the first person to help me go to Mexico, right? You took me and my family to Mexico.
Yeah, it's crazy.
When we first got here, that was just just coming and getting across the border back and forth. People think it's so hard to go back and forth across the border, but you made it,
Well, I'd figured you've traveled already, I believe, to the Caribbean and other places. I'm like, it's really not much different other than instead of having to fly, you can just take about half an hour drive down south, and
for sure, and
you get a whole different world, because it pretty much is. And the food, the cuisine, and the level of service, people have an idea that it's a third world country or second world country. I'm like, it's really not. It's
right.
People have to study, people have to get their degrees, and oftentimes we actually have a lot of people coming from the south over here to work and commute back. So figure to give you the privilege of taking you down there and giving you the first-hand tour. So
bro, I appreciated it very much. And it's one of those things, being newer to California, you hear so many different parts, but the one thing that anybody knows from being all around the country is that how beautiful Mexico is as a country. And I know this about you and your family. You're first generation here in the U.S., aren't you?
Yes, exactly. So my family came over pretty much about 30 years ago, and so we came from the center of Mexico City and traveled over here. And so to me, it's second nature. We travel pretty much consistently about once or twice a year. So I was like, I gotta take him. So thank you for being open-minded as well, and trusting me, because we barely pretty much just met, and I even 2 days later that you were like, yeah, let's do it. And I was
Let's
like,
do it.
all right.
You know why, Jose? Because I love tacos. Like the
Yeah.
spot we stayed at to get tacos, you can't beat
No,
that
absolutely.
little place downtown, man.
Yeah,
That
instead
was
of paying like premium here, like $3, $4 per taco, you're getting $1.50 over there. So
and they were the best tasting tacos. I don't know what it is about stuff that is good priced and delicious. You feel like you got the biggest deal in the
yeah,
world. So yeah, anywhere if you want to know besides the real estate part, best tacos in Tijuana, you're the guy to go see
yeah, for
100%.
sure. And then if we had a chance, we'd go to Rosarito too, if or
Oh,
the
yeah.
Playas of Mexico, and they
Yeah.
have mariscos that's top notch. Like you're not gonna get anywhere else. So
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. So we'll talk about that. We'll leave that
yeah,
one
yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
comments for
Well,
everybody.
before we get hungry.
Exactly. All right, bro. So so again, I just wanted to again give you your flowers, man. You're a young man getting started in real estate, but you got a really unique story that I think a lot of people, would really appreciate. Like you said, you're first generation. And then I know you started out just kind of like a lot of kids, right? You just start out working, trying to figure things out,
Yeah,
and then you caught the bug for real estate.
yeah.
Tell me about
It was
that.
kind of odd. It didn't happen from one day to another. Originally, I'm very artsy, so
Okay.
I used to think that I was wanting to get into graphic design, and it wasn't until junior year, senior year of high school where I was realizing just finance to me was something that I was interested in.
Sure.
And I found out a lot as I was researching and watching videos that uh, there's a lot of people that don't know how to manage their finances. And I think I was watching the Ramsey show, and there's one episode that stuck out to me where I believe there's a couple, one's an MBA, just recently graduated, and then there's another couple that had a higher degree, but they're about 400 something thousand dollars in debt.
Mm.
And so being with the background of business and being in debt and wasting more money than what they should have, to me was mind boggling. But it's a thing that, I don't know the statistic here in America, but we're living paycheck to paycheck. And so my family coming from a country into another country, not knowing the language and pretty much starting from zero,
Right.
managed to purchase property and own it outright. And, thankfully, the past 5 years, we've been completely debt free from that. And so we don't owe anything on the mortgage in Southern California, San
Right.
Diego County,
Right.
which is pretty expensive and top 5, top 10 in the U.S. So that's a privilege in its own. And there's a thing that sticks to my head is if we're living here in Southern California, you're already rich. And even if, despite the background, despite what you're coming from, the fact that you're living here says a lot, because you could be going to any other place and, obviously it's cheaper in other states or other counties, but that's something that I always have to reflect on and just be appreciative. So there's been a lot.
Yeah, yeah, and it sounds like, I think I heard one time it was Warren Buffett. I feel like he's the one that said it's like, hey, if you're born here in the United States, you kind of won the lottery. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, you won like the
100%.
the world lottery, so to
Right.
speak. But then on top of that, I think even further, and it sounds like it's part of your story too, the fact that your parents made the move, because it wasn't easy to move from Mexico. I know your story,
No.
right?
Yeah.
You had to leave some things behind. You had to come here. You had to risk a little bit. But the fact that you're here now and being here, like you said, you're in a much better place, and it's something to keep in perspective.
Yeah, it's all perspective ultimately, because they originally, my family, my cousins and my aunts back in Mexico were telling my dad, don't do it. It's too dangerous. Don't take the risk. And he wanted to push for more. And so thankfully he did. And we managed to get here. Now we can provide back and go to the family and see them once, twice, three, however many times we want to go a year. And just really going back to the principle of taking that risk and the leap of faith of purchasing property. Obviously, back then it was a lot cheaper, but the dollar was still, in the sense, the ratios is still the same. It was expensive to them.
Right.
And working and just making that move and now having the freedom that real estate has given to us is something that it kind of clicked into me. And I realized that if my parents managed to purchase property and house hack it, essentially, because we actually live in a duplex. And so my neighbors have always been my uncles and aunts and my grandma. I've never had any other neighbors.
Yeah.
So it's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath.
Did you have to run credit check? I'm just kidding.
No. It's a crazy story because everybody else has neighbors, and to me, I'm like, they're just my family.
Yeah.
Essentially. And so Yeah, we house hacked. I remember the first parts of my life between elementary up until high school. It was tough, having two, three families in one home and having the other home pay itself off and just sacrificing for pretty much about 15 years to make that happen.
Yeah.
And it was difficult. And so not a lot of people willing to do that, but we found that to us, it was just easy. It made sense. Purchase the property next to you, have the property that you live in, make the mortgage payments, and have the other one just pay itself off. And eventually, over time, it's gonna pay itself off. And so,
Well, I mean,
that's it.
I think that you just hit the nail on the head, and I'm so stoked that you're here because you got this way of just making everything really easy to understand and practical. Because you're in your story, I hear this all the time from people that say, like, real estate is really high right now,
Right.
or the values are all over the place. But what your story says, and what Time has always said with real estate is, look, you're only concerned about losing money in real estate if you have to get in at a certain point and get out really fast. If
Yeah,
you're going to
absolutely.
be in this thing for the long haul, you will not lose money because, as we've seen in the last few years, we can't make as much of it as we need to,
Right.
as fast as we need to, and not to mention the value of the currency changes.
Oh yeah,
right?
it
So
it always kind of goes against you. But
right,
going back to what you said with Warren Buffett, I mean, he's the founder and the godfather of compound interest and purchasing index funds. And the thing that plays into that is time. Time
Right.
is on your side.
Right.
And so in this case, if you're not trying to purchase property and flip it, then obviously you're going to be worried about wanting to make money or lose money. But if you just purchase a property and hold it for the long term, things, in general are getting pretty difficult and scarce with properties being available, rent going up. And so that's a commodity pretty much that starts going up in value.
Yeah.
And so to me, I have clients coming around and they're saying, "Hey, should I purchase property or not?" I'm like, "Well, are you renting?" "Yes." "Okay, well, how long have you been renting?" "Well, I've been renting for 15 plus years." "Well, you've already paid off that property of the landlord that you were there. And now if you were to buy property, are you buying property to sell it, to make money off of it, or for your family?" It's
For
like, well,
sure.
it's for my family. So then don't worry about what's going to come after. As long as you make your payments, which clearly you have been, the good thing is your payments are not going to go up anymore because you locked in at a certain rate for 25, 30 years. If anything, you can take advantage in the future when rates fluctuate that you can refinance and have that benefit. You're in control. Otherwise, you're giving control to somebody else, and that's something that I found it's not what I would want to do. So
For sure. Buddy, so I'm super excited about that too and hearing more. We're just going to take a quick little break here and hop back in with Jose and then talk more about what's coming up next. So stay tuned.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about, so join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Looking to attract your target market without soliciting or doing the cold calling? Call Marie Waite and book your consultation. Branding gives you the power to create a unique and classy perception of your business for your target audience. A marketing plan without the right branding will always cost more, take longer, and tend to deliver subpar results compared to a well-branded business. Marie Waite is a branding strategist who formulates effective marketing and media programs to promote your business in building your name, brand, and legacy. Marie has over 10 years of experience and a proven record of creating strong brand content for business owners, entrepreneurs, and companies using her creative ideas, recommendations, and innovative programs. Book now at mariewaite.com or call her at 951-378-5316, 951-378-5316.
Hey guys, it's Damon, Mr. Foxy, Damon Hart, and I'm here with the Real Men of Real Estate. And I just want to say, hey, come and watch us this Sunday, 1 p.m. live, every Sunday. Okay, we're gonna be on KCAA Radio, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. If you got a minute, just tune in. We can't wait to have you here. I'm gonna be there. If you can't make it on there, we're gonna be at Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, or Android app on Building Solid Foundations channel. So tune in. You know what you got to do in the meantime. Keep it foxy.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Okay, welcome back. David Hart here with the Real Men of Real Estate, Mr. Foxy, and I'm here with Jose Hernandez.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, buddy. So, okay, we were just talking a little bit about your experience and what you felt were some of the core principles of real estate. But I want to hear more about your story. How is it that you even got into real estate? Why real estate? And how was that getting going?
Yeah, so well, we live in a generation where you can, with the click of a button, find out a lot of information. And I was looking at other ways to just make money because I realized graphic design or any other studies in art wasn't really going to pay off unless you were really good at it. And so I was just okay. I liked it, but it wasn't going to pay the bills. And so I realized how much freedom we had as a family with just owning, purchasing, really owning real estate, that I figured, well, if my dad did it with having no knowledge and it took him this long, like you said, kind of going back to what we were talking about, the fact that I was born here, I already have an advantage. I know the language, I can study, I have the time that they couldn't originally, and so that they gave us to us, and just study up. And so I figured as I was watching more videos that I could learn this, and as long as I'm with the right mentorship and guidance, I can make this happen. And there's so many other stories that I've heard that why not me? Like what's stopping from me actually being able to do this?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I kind of got into it. And plus it pays pretty well.
I appreciate you keeping it real and being a capitalist, right? Because let's face it, in the real estate business, and there's a lot of different facets, but I have yet to discover anywhere in my professional career where if you put in the time and you learn the skill set, there's so many different ways that you can get into facets of real estate, and you can earn profit. And I don't know if that's true for a lot of other professions, because if you want to be a doctor, right? Yeah. You know, you want to be a doctor, you got to go to school for almost 10 years, right?
Minimum.
A lawyer, you know? And I have yet to see any other profession other than real estate where you learn certain skills and you can make a really good living for yourself.
Yeah.
And let's keep it real. The reason most people get into this business is to help people as much as they can, and you become someone that's like a value in the community, don't you think?
No, absolutely. Essentially, aside from the money, there's really low barrier to entry into real estate if you make it seem that way, because the only thing that's stopping you is if having the right guidance. Or for me, I decided to take a different avenue, which was just become a real estate agent and learn the aspects of purchasing and understanding the lingo in it, so that seeing what investors are looking for, so that I could be of value, so that when I eventually have the capital, or I've learned enough, or I'm comfortable or confident to take that step, that I know what to expect and how to talk the talk and negotiate and people skills. Because essentially something that I found as I was going to school, we lacked a lot of just people skills, finance, paying your taxes. Like none of that is really talked about unless you actually take extra courses on it. And that's fundamental to our lives. If we don't do our taxes right, we get hammered on that. If we don't pay our things on time or control our debt, it's gonna hit us in the rear end. So that's something that I found is actually important to me and that I like and that I enjoy learning about. So it's easy.
Yeah, and you pick that up in real estate, obviously as a practice,
naturally,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're talking to people about their finances. You're seeing and getting people ready to purchase homes. You're getting them ready to get into those kinds of things. I love it. So I can personally agree with that in my experience too. I think real estate was the one thing that I didn't know early on. I mean, I was just a kid that played Monopoly growing up, and I just thought it was super cool.
No,
Oh, so you did too?
it's funny how like if I have kids, I'm gonna have them play that because it's just something that kind of ties into the real world. I mean, that's the closest game that I could find that will be near and dear where you're actually valuing the money and seeing how powerful it is when you own property and become a tycoon. It's like that's the reality of
That's
things.
real. Yeah. And you just want to stay away from the ugly purple ones, but even those make money. Jose.
Exactly.
Right? So okay, I'm with you, man. Those my thing back then, I used to just buy up all like the middle ones, the kind of like the orange and the reds. I would buy those up as fast as I could, and I would just wait for people to just come through and just hammer them.
Thank you, give my money.
Yeah. And then eventually I'd foreclose. But that
that's just part of it too. Yeah. There's risk involved as well.
But. Yeah, you just can't foreclose on your mom. That was the only deal.
No.
Yeah, everybody else gets a foreclosure notice except for mom, because you'd be smart, you'd be stupid to do that.
Sure. You wouldn't want to disappoint that.
Cool, man. All right, great. So so walk us through the journey when it comes to getting into the business, because I get this question a lot too. From especially, how old are you?
22.
22,
yeah,
right? Younger 22. Person getting going, and they say, okay, well, what should I do, Damon? Should I quit my job? Should I just quit my job and just get into the business? Because I really see the opportunity. What do I do? What's your what would be your feedback to that? Or
For sure,
advice?
Yeah. This kind of hits home because originally I had that. Just my background is I always go into something and I want to do it 100%. I don't like going halfway and just having one foot in and 1 foot out.
Right.
So I was a meat cutter previously from this. I studied, got my license previously.
What's a meat cutter? What were you doing?
Well, people call it as a butcher.
Yeah.
I don't see myself as a butcher because a butcher takes skill when you're actually processing the cattle, and that's something that I don't want to put my hat on. I'm just a cutter. I'm just cleaning up the nice steaks and presenting them for the store. And so
right on.
That's how I see myself. And you're
cutting the meat.
Cutting the meat. I go to restaurants and I know what to order now. So I don't have to get the typical filet mignon and pay extra when I can get something else. And so you pick up things too.
Okay.
So I was doing that, and I found myself in a very fortunate position in which we don't have any major bills or any mortgage that we have to pay. And I remember having the conversation with my dad, and my dad's pretty much the backbone of all of my decisions that I've made because he reassures me. He's like, look, like the fact that you have time, take advantage of it. You have no responsibilities. You have no kids. I'm in a fortunate position where some of you that are hearing this might not be in, but that's still no excuse where if you really want to take that leap of faith, you can learn a lot within a year.
Yeah.
So 6 months, I took off time from work. I've saved enough money, and eventually actually went back to work as a part-time gig because I figured out my schedule and realized, okay, I could work around this, and managed to close my first year, 4 deals, whereas statistically speaking, as a real estate agent, you don't really close that many, maybe 1 or 2 and break even. So that was my process. I would definitely say you can keep your job, keep the money coming in, especially if you have more responsibilities, because otherwise you're going to be in a position where a lot of people might, break from it. Not everybody can become a diamond under pressure. And so don't fall into that notion and just understand it's okay to have a backup or to have money coming in. Like, never be afraid from that. You're feeding your family. You're taking care of what needs to be done.
Sure.
And that's it.
Sure. So I can tell you that that was like a huge quote. Like, not everybody can be a diamond under pressure.
That's
because
okay.
Even though I did that, that's what I asked that question. I was one of those people that, Jose, I said, I'm out of here. I left my job and I went out into the workplace and I went into entrepreneurship thinking I'm going to be the boss.
Right.
And you know what happened? I ended up getting into foreclosure. Okay. I had just bought my first house, ended up bankruptcy 2 years later for me and my wife. And what you realize looking back on it, because I'm older now, you put yourself in such a really tough position just for the sake of saying, okay, I'm all in. You can be all in with the time that you have, and you're saying that was real for you. And I think that's really great advice, brother.
Yeah, for some people it might have taken a little longer, but I realized 6 months into it, great, I've learned what I needed to do, but there's no reason for me to continue putting myself in this situation when I can be in a better situation and be a little bit more calm and stress free and having that income in which I wouldn't have if I would have just let my ego get in the way and saying, oh, I'm gonna become that. I can handle this. Like I don't need to have my job. Like I'm 100% in. Just focus on yourself. Don't focus on what other people were thinking, because
Cool.
that's something that I had to let go of. I was very big on that, and so I'm okay. People were asking me, oh, well, why'd you go back? Did it not work out? I'm like, no, it works out. Like I'm just closing up a deal right now, and I'm working this, and so I'm making both work, and that's okay.
Right. So it sounds like working on your working your plan, but also working on your vision as well.
Yeah.
Right. Like you're putting the both two together. It's like, hey, this
You
is
got to
part of
build
the
it.
plan.
You have to build it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no way you're gonna build a ship within a day or a week. It's something that you're gonna have to gradually build, and there's gonna be setbacks.
Yeah.
And you have to be ready for that. And if you don't have something to, like money wise, if you have to pay some of the bills, and a deal that you thought was gonna go through didn't go through,
Didn't
then
go through.
what are
Yeah.
you gonna do? And that's the reality that I faced, where I had many deals going through that could have gone and it went south. And so I'm like, you know what? I think this is a better option. And for somebody else, I get asked that too. Like, oh, what should I do? Should I invest in this? Should I do that? I'm like, before you even think of any of it, just keep what you're doing already, and then just learn little bit by little. And if anything, go with the right mentorship and guidance, because that's what's going to save you ultimately a lot of money and headaches, because they've gone through it already before.
So we're gonna get a deep dive into the mentor
Sure.
and guidance, because I often think in real estate and in business in
I think
general,
in anything really.
right?
Yeah.
Right? You need that,
Yeah.
right? Especially if you want to be successful.
100%.
So real quick, closing out, let me just ask you one thing. What do you think has had the most impact on you so far? 30 seconds. What's been the most impactful strategy that you've used so far in you think being successful in this real estate thing?
Well, you have to have there's no end goal, because you always end up putting something ahead of that if you accomplish it. But that vision, the why, and it's cliche and you hear it everywhere, but it's truly, you're gonna be in a corner, you're gonna be in a position in which you're gonna be like, you know what, I want to back out. It's like, this is not right for me, and you have to look back and answer that question to yourself and say, well, why did I get in it in the first place? And if that's not powerful enough, if that doesn't motivate you enough, then you got to find another thing. Ultimately, that's what's kept me going.
So keep the vision.
Keep the vision alive, and answer that for yourself. That's something that you have to answer and find yourself.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, we're going to take a quick break and come back with Jose, and we'll jump right into the next segment. Stay tuned.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about, so join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services, including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing, and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Tired of qualifying your leads and not getting the right clients for you? Join the finest women in real estate and learn how to attract the best clients and increase your referral network. Call now at 951-378-5316. 951-378-5316. Then become one of the finest women in real estate.
Real men of real estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station, KCAA radio.com.
So, hey, welcome back. It's Damon, Mr. Foxy, here with our special guest in the studio, Jose Hernandez. And Jose, I want to just get down and right into it with this one topic that
Sure.
that you really hit on at the end of the last segment.
Yeah.
And that is the importance of having someone to be able to work with you. Now,
Right.
this is the real men of real estate, and I would be a liar if I came here and I said to everybody here listening, "Oh, I just made it on my own. I started from the bottom. I got it out of the mud." I'm going to tell you, I sure thought I was going to do that.
Yep.
And I sure started out that way. But when I started fledgling and nothing actually happened for me, that's when things changed. And I started to introduce or get wise to the idea of getting some support. So you mentioned mentors, right? Mentorship. What kind of impact do you think that's had on your career so far?
100% the backbone of everything. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. I ultimately, before I jumped into anything, you have to do research. You have to realize why you're getting into it and just prepare for worst case scenario always. That's something that has helped me. And especially in real estate, when there's certain situations, instead of assuming the best, because things don't always go that way, just assume the worst, prepare for the worst. And so in this case, with anything, I was looking at talking to other people, and they've all said, you need a mentor. You need a mentor because they're going to help guide you. And especially in real estate, if you're just getting into it, there's so many different avenues to get into. And
100%.
You don't know where to start. You're going to dabble into different things. And if you can just pick somebody that's been successful, they can kind of pinpoint you, talking to you and realizing, you know what, this is probably going to be a better fit for you. Like you're better off doing cold calling. You're better off maybe wholesaling. You're better off maybe just as a real estate agent. You're just a natural. You're better off maybe in the background as an admin controlling the escrows or any other stuff. And that helps a lot. And so I've gone to different mentors, and I realized that some of them were lacking in certain things that I was looking for. And so then I just switched and found somebody else. I mean, ultimately, anybody can become your mentor. There's a lot of people that have good information that you should always be open to.
Absolutely. And around mentorship, like you said, it takes so many different forms, and it can be anyone. And mentors, and I think sometimes people get stuck on the idea, at least I did. I can't speak for everybody, but I had the impression like, well, my mentor has to be the guy that's way at the top.
Has to have a Lamborghini.
Yeah, it's Grant. If I'm going to get into real estate, it's got to be Grant Cardone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, in reality, what you come to realize is that you just want somebody that's further up the road than you are. And then get that person to help and agree to leverage their knowledge to help you get a little bit further. And I found that it helps you to compress time way faster, because what do? They stop you. They stop you with their experience from you going and making the same mistake.
Absolutely. I think it's the same thing. Like I had this assumption that had to be super successful, and oftentimes actually ends up being bad if you did, because they're so up there that they don't have enough time to actually give you and teach you. And
maybe you're not even ready for what they're teaching you, right?
Oh, absolutely. They're miles away from you, and you're literally just starting. So they've already seen that. Everybody values your time, and anybody in business knows that. And so when they're that high up, they look at you and they're like, honestly, just my time is more valuable in doing other things and making me money than essentially putting all that aside and teaching you what you might not even actually be wanting to do.
Sure. And one thing about being able to see you from the outside looking in, personally, I know that you've definitely taken some advice, because you started from almost no presence online and social media, just all personal. Pretty much. And you just ramped up and then started really putting together, some clever for a real estate agent in this market, like you know what it is. It's usually just posting
houses, open houses.
How many doors and windows and pictures of the bedroom can you see? But you're doing stuff that's clever. interesting. Like, what's your Instagram handle? I know you're on IG. What's that?
Yeah, so it's Jose _ sells real estate.
Right.
Definitely gonna be a bunch of Jose's there, but you'll find it.
Right.
Stands out.
There's a few Jose Hernandez.
there's a few.
Right. But, just even that, man, just going and messing around on your Instagram, Facebook, all that. It's just really, really cool, man. I think that stuff is great.
It's the new thing. It's the new marketing. That's something that people can actually see, and they can interact with you and see the real side of you. And so that's something that I took personally, where I realized I was annoyed seeing other real estate agents just post the same stuff. I just sold this, or we just purchased this, or doors and windows and homes, and and there was nothing really tangible there that was showing me who that person
about
is.
them, right?
And so I decided kind of going with the approach of still showing and reminding people that I'm in real estate, but at the same time just the stuff that I like to do. There's a restaurant here in the county in which I love. I pretty much go once a week, and I was like, you know what, this is a torta, it's like a sandwich. I'm about to show this and show it off and be like, come support, come buy this. Like it's really good. And so I care more and value about what people see me as a real person, because they don't want to work with me and see me as who I am, then I don't want to work with them either. You want to have people that are like-minded and that want you, versus you trying to fit into something that you're truly not.
Yeah.
And so
attract the business you want and attract the people around you. Yeah, for sure. And that's, bro, I will tell you from experience, that's been just the best thing about social media. Anybody that knows me knows that I have my pluses and minuses, right? Maybe everybody does. But I think the one thing that we can take away from social media is that it gives us an opportunity to connect at a different level if we use it right. And who doesn't want to know about the guy that's in their market that is young, ambitious, he wants to work, he wants the business, and they know where to find him at any given time.
At that restaurant.
Right? At the restaurant getting tortas, right?
Yeah, don't find me there.
Right? And in addition to that, right, here's the crazy thing. With a touch of a button, they can just send you a message.
Right.
And if they're just scrolling around, just messing around, here you go. Bing, 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 every time you post something. And you talk about marketing, right?
It's free marketing.
Right. How can here's my next question. How can anyone be in real estate? How can you fail in real estate in 2013? That's like a reverse question, right? But like, how can someone mess this thing up in 2013? 23.
I was gonna say 2013.
Yeah, they got to get a time machine, right?
Different time, but
right?
You really can't if you just don't put yourself out there. I mean, that's how you'll fail. No one's gonna know about you. No one's gonna come to you. This is not a brick and mortar business where you just go in 9 to 5 and say, hey, like, I want to make an appointment. Like, you have to. It's a business.
Yeah.
You're starting from scratch, and that's something I quickly realized. This is my own business. I have to go and make my own hours, get my own business, attract the business, and try to make it stick. And so by doing that, I mean, essentially, you just got to post videos. You got to post things that you like, educational videos. It could be about anything, essentially, and make it a little bit entertaining. Keep it real. Just show different things. Don't just show the stuff that you can find on something else, or if you keep scrolling on the page, like, it's just, I see that all the time.
Yeah.
So.
And it gets old really fast.
It gets old really fast, yeah.
Love it. Wow, that's great advice. So tell us, talking business. Let's talk. What is it that you're most involved in? What's your specialty? What do you do for the people here in San Diego?
I definitely say it's first time home buyers. It would be first time home buyers, especially in my case, it's like minorities or with Hispanic or
Spanish
background,
speaking.
just because this is pretty much our neighbors is Mexican. So a lot of people here speak Spanish. A lot of people here immigrated and they're working, and essentially they're just working, renting, but have no idea, have no education. Just like my father, the highest education he had, I think, was like fourth grade, right? Mm-hmm. And then the rest he was just working. So a lot of people here oftentimes don't know what to do, and so I'm here to just educate them and let them know you can trust in me. I understand where you're coming from. I understand the struggle. Here's how you can just simply, it's simple. Purchase a property. Here are the steps. This is what you got to do to prepare, and we can get you home. Of course, things are a little bit difficult situational wise, but it can happen if you really want it to.
Sure, I would agree. Things are different now.
Yeah.
But you know what my mom always used to say, that if there's a will, there's a
Absolutely,
way,
yeah,
right?
for
And
sure.
that's the oldest cliche, but it's so true. If you
Yeah.
if you fix still human beings, if we fix on something that we actually want, you
Yeah.
would be surprised how many
100%.
things show up and how you get into making action happen just like that. So that's powerful. Good advice. So you're working mostly with first time home buyers.
Yeah.
You love it sounds like the Latino market. That's that's a market that you know very well.
Yep.
But you work with everybody.
I work with
even if they
everybody.
don't speak Spanish.
I work with everybody. I just I have a client actually from Italy.
Right.
And their boyfriend is from Scotland. So, I actually happen to dabble in a little bit. I love language. I know a little bit of German. So to me, just language and just always being open-minded, I love working with a lot of people. You learn a lot. It's a different world. And that's something I kind of wanted to show you, taking you to Mexico.
Yeah.
It's a different way of living, and something that you can take back home and find some stuff that you can appreciate.
Absolutely. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So look, we're gonna. I want to just thank you in advance. You just being grateful and gracious with your time and all the stuff that you talk about. So what I'd like to do now is, if we could, we're gonna take a quick little break, and on the next segment, what I want you to do for everybody is just tell them, you're kind of like your crystal clear couple of like 3 things that you can take back and share with them that they can put into, because this market's changing.
Yeah,
this
definitely.
market's changing, and I know some people are listening for what advice you could give. So we're gonna just take a quick break now, and we'll come back and we'll jump right in.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services, including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing, and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about, so join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Tired of qualifying your leads and not getting the right clients for you? Join the finest women in real estate and learn how to attract the best clients and increase your referral network. Call now at 951-378-5316. 951-378-5316. Then become one of the finest women in real estate.
Hey guys, it's Damon, Mr. Foxy, Damon Hart, and I'm here with the Real Men of Real Estate. And I just want to say, hey, come and watch us this Sunday, 1 p.m. live, every Sunday. Okay, we're gonna be on KCAA Radio, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. If you got a minute, just tune in. We can't wait to have you here. I'm gonna be there. If you can't make it on there, we're gonna be at Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, or Android app on Building Solid Foundations channel. So tune in. But you know what you got to do in the meantime. Keep it foxy. Okay, welcome back. Okay, so Jose, real quick, man. I know everybody's asking, and there's some people that want to know.
Sure.
What's your take on the market right now?
On
the residential market.
Right now, as we speak, it's we're in May. Just 4 or 5 months ago, things were just dead. There was property sitting on the market for 30 plus days. There was so much inventory. We're talking about 2 months worth of inventory, which is a lot compared to what we've been seeing. And just until February, we decided just completely switch, and it's just going up. There's properties that are being sold within a week, multiple offers, and so I would definitely say, from a perspective of a buyer, because I talk to a lot of first-time home buyers, just understand where your finances are, because sometimes you might have an effect of where you might think that your credit is bad, or you might not have enough money down, but there's certain Cal Grant or government assistance programs that can help you with purchasing property, and just understanding how far you are from, because you might not be that far on purchasing property.
Okay.
And for sellers, if you're a seller and you probably purchased property maybe 2 years ago, right, or 2+ years ago, so you might have some equity in there.
Sure.
We just helped a client out from our team that they purchased a property recently. We're under escrow right now, that managed to get their interest rate at 3%. We managed to get what's called a 2-1, 3-1 buy down, which we bought the rate down, and so the rates are at, who knows, 6.5 to 7% right now. They just got it in and locked in at 3% because they use that equity and rolled it into that. So there's ways in which you can make things happen. It's just talking to the right people and being resourceful with your time.
Okay, and I can understand that. And one thing that I've noticed that I would add, just on the buyer side, because I see it a lot, because we talk a lot with sellers, is for a buyer, just make an offer. Like, don't be afraid of a no.
You never know.
Yeah, don't be afraid of a no. And on the seller side, might consider an offer. Obviously let's consider a no as like the place to start. Like, if you don't like it, at least counter or something, because what you find in real estate is, when you get people into a market, you don't know what they're doing just by their price or what they're willing to offer.
It could be contingent. It could be that they need time where they're going to move out. It happens to be that this escrow that I'm in, a lot of people like a quick close, but in this case, they want a longer escrow. And so not everybody can do that as a buyer. Some people are in a time constraint where the loan's about to be up and they might have to not lock that rate that they're going in with. And so, again, 100%. Just put in an offer. You never know. And if they say no or they counter you, which is good, you at least know where you can go from there. And, have your real estate agent or whoever is representing you just negotiate that, and it can make things happen.
For sure. So to recap, it sounds like, hey, we were in a dark place for a little bit.
We were, yeah.
But things are looking up.
Yeah.
Things are looking up right now. Buyers and sellers, definitely get out there, listen to the offers that you're getting. Buyers make more offers. That's great. So I guess for anybody that's looking here in Southern California, I would imagine that they're probably, how do I get in touch with this guy? How do I get in touch with this guy? Great looking hair, got a good story. He's working hard, puts out funny videos. How do they get in touch with you?
I'd say the biggest thing is just my Instagram. I'm putting more content out there and just trying to just have a bigger presence there. And so you'll see me, who I am, for who I am. And it's Jose. Like I said, Jose_sells real estate. It's pretty straightforward.
Oh, yeah.
And then just give me a quick call. I don't like text, which is weird because as a young 20.
Yeah. What are you, like the only 22-year-old that doesn't like text?
I found that a quick call can make a big difference, and I would much rather connect with somebody and get right into what I need to get out of it. And so my phone number is 760-840-6618.
760. Say it one more time. 760.
760-840-6618.
Okay, and that's Jose _
sells real estate.
Easy to remember.
Pretty straightforward, yeah.
Yeah, he's
I don't sell anything else. Just real estate.
Just real estate.
Just keep it that.
There you go. Boom. Well, look, man, I want to just say again, thank you on behalf of everyone that's listening and myself and as the show. We wanted to say, hey, man, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a guest and dropping your gems today. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys, allowing me to come and just talk. And, whoever's out there, if you're driving, drive safe and just have a blessed day. Just remember, be grateful,
Yeah, that's for sure. So, I'll kind of end things to start wrapping them up here with that and just say be grateful. I can certainly be grateful for having Jose here with us today. And also being having the ability to host this show and just share the things that I've learned about real estate and just get to talk about like real stuff. That's the main reason I even enjoy coming here, because I want to just share with people all the things that I've experienced in hopes that somebody else would get some value out of what I've been able to experience myself in my own life and the people around me that make that happen. So I'm really excited for that. Again, I want to thank you for tuning in. If you're looking to get more information about the show, again, you can visit us on the Real Men of Real Estate. You can find us here on, obviously, YouTube or any other affiliations that I mentioned here at the beginning, but I'll say them again. KCAA Radio, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. Okay, we got Roku TV, Amazon TV, app, the Android app. We're airing every Sunday, every Sunday at this time, 1 p.m. So just be prepared for that. And if you want to get in touch with me personally to talk about anything related to real estate here in the state of California or in Florida, yes, the Sun Belt, the warm places, you can reach me at foxyhomebuyers.com/Damon. Okay, so that's how you get in touch with me there. Or you can just, unlike Jose, I'm okay with a text message. So you can text me at any time. My number is 813-413-7929. Again, that is my real cell phone, 813-413-7929. Okay? And with that being said, I want to say thank you again, guys, for tuning in. This is Damon Hart with Jose Hernandez.
Thank you, guys.
And just letting you guys know, you know what you got to do until the next episode. That's right. Got to keep it foxy. Bye for now.
Express 106.